The bakery sat on a corner in the older part of town, the kind of place that had been there for generations and would probably be there for generations more. It had wooden display cases with glass fronts that showed off rows of pastries and cakes, and the smell of butter and sugar hung in the air like a sweet fog. The afternoon light came through the front windows, making everything glow warm and golden. Inside, behind the counter, Mrs. Chen was wiping down the glass when the little girl came in. She couldn't have been more than 6 years old, with blonde hair pulled into 2 pigtails that stuck out at odd angles, as if she'd done them herself that morning. She wore a pink dress with little flowers on it, slightly too big, and she clutched a small canvas bag against her chest with both hands. Her eyes were wide as she looked at all the cakes in the display cases, and she moved slowly, carefully, as if afraid she might break something. Mrs. Chen had owned this bakery for 30 years, and she could tell a lot about people by how they walked through her door. This child walked like someone who knew that treats were special, that you didn't take them for granted, that sometimes you had to save up for something sweet. "Hello, sweetheart," Mrs. Chen said gently, coming around the counter. "Can I help you find something?" The little girl looked up at her with serious blue eyes. "I need to buy a birthday cake," she said, her voice small but determined. "It's for my mama. She's turning 30 tomorrow, and I want to surprise her." "That's very sweet of you," Mrs. Chen said. "What kind of cake does your mama like?" "Chocolate," the girl said immediately. "She loves chocolate. And she likes flowers, so maybe a cake with flowers on it?" She paused, then added quietly, "But I only have $5. She reached into her canvas bag and pulled out a worn $5 bill, holding it up as if it were a treasure, which Mrs. Chen thought it probably was to her. Mrs. Chen's heart squeezed. The cheapest cake in her shop was $25, and that was for a small one. A proper birthday cake with decorations would run at least $40. But looking at this child's hopeful face, she couldn't bring herself to say no. "Let me see what I can do," Mrs. Chen said. "What's your name, honey?" "Lily," the girl said. "My mama's name is Sarah." "Well, Lily, why don't you look at the cakes and tell me which one you think your mama would like best?" Lily pressed her nose to the glass, studying each cake with intense concentration. She pointed to a beautiful chocolate, layer cake with buttercream, flowers cascading down one side. "That one," she breathed. "That one is perfect." Mrs. Chen looked at the cake Lily had chosen. It was one of her special orders, made for a customer who was supposed to pick it up in 2 hours. It cost $75. She was trying to figure out how to gently redirect Lily to something more realistic when the bell above the door chimed and another customer walked in. The man who entered was in his late 30s, with dark hair and the kind of face that would have been handsome if it hadn't looked so tired. He wore a black coat over a dark shirt, and there was something about his posture that spoke of weariness, beyond the physical. He moved to stand politely behind Lily, waiting his turn, and Mrs. Chen noticed he had good manners despite seeming lost in his own thoughts. "Excuse me, sweetheart," Mrs. Chen said to Lily. "Let me help this gentleman, and then we'll figure out your cake, okay?" But Lily was already turning around, and when she did, she looked up at the man with those serious eyes and said something that made everyone in the bakery stop and pay attention. "Excuse me, sir," Lily said in her small voice. "Are you sad?" The man blinked, clearly startled. What? You look sad," Lily said matter-of-factly. "My mama looks like that sometimes, when she's worried about money or when she misses my daddy." "Are you missing someone?" Mrs. Chen started to apologize. "I'm so sorry, sir. Children sometimes—" But the man held up a hand, and his expression had softened in a way that made him look younger. He crouched down so he was at Lily's eye level. "You know what?" he said quietly. "I am a little sad. I am missing someone. How did you know?" "Your eyes," Lily said simply. "They look lonely." The man let out a breath that might have been a laugh or might have been something else. "You're very perceptive." "What's your name?" "Lily." "I'm Daniel," he said. "Nice to meet you, Lily. What brings you to the bakery today?" "I'm buying a birthday cake for my mama," Lily said proudly, holding up her $5 bill again. "She's turning 30 tomorrow, and I saved up my allowance for 3 months. I want to get her that chocolate cake with the flowers because chocolate is her favorite and she works really hard and she deserves something." "Beautiful!" Daniel looked at the $5, then at the cake Lily had pointed to, and Mrs. Chen saw understanding cross his face. He straightened up and met Mrs. Chen's eyes over Lily's head. And something passed between them, a recognition of the situation and what it meant. "That's a beautiful cake," Daniel said. "Your mom is lucky to have such a thoughtful daughter." "The thing is," Lily said, her voice dropping to a whisper, "I don't think $5 is enough. But it's all I have. Mrs. Chen is trying to help me figure out what to do." Daniel was quiet for a moment. Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out his wallet. "You know what, Lily? Today is actually my birthday, too." Lily's eyes widened. "Really?" "Really," Daniel said. "I turned 39 today, and I was just thinking on my way here that I didn't have anyone to celebrate with, that I'd probably just go home to my empty apartment and have a quiet evening alone. But you've given me an idea. What if we share that cake? You take it for your mama's birthday tomorrow, and I'll consider it my birthday cake, too. We can be birthday cake partners." Lily frowned, thinking hard. "But that's your birthday cake. You should have it." "I think," Daniel said gently, "that giving your mom a beautiful birthday cake would make me happy. It would make my birthday special to know I helped make someone else's birthday special. Would that be okay with you?" Lily looked uncertain. "But I should pay for it. I have $5. "I'll tell you what," Daniel said. "You give me your $5 and I'll add the rest. It'll be a team effort. Deal?" He held out his hand, and after a moment, Lily shook it solemnly. She handed over her $5 bill, and Daniel gave it to Mrs. Chen along with his credit card. "I'd like to purchase that chocolate cake with the flowers," he said. "And please add whatever else $5 would buy. Maybe some cupcakes or cookies?" Mrs. Chen, who'd been watching this exchange with tears in her eyes, nodded. "I'll box up some of our fresh chocolate chip cookies. They're Lily's contribution to the order." While Mrs. Chen boxed up the cake and cookies, Daniel sat down at one of the small cafe tables, and Lily climbed onto the chair across from him. "Why are you alone on your birthday?" Lily asked with the directness only children possess. Daniel smiled sadly. "Well, I work a lot. I run a company, which means I'm very busy. And somewhere along the way, I forgot to make time for friends and family. My parents passed away a few years ago, and I don't have any brothers or sisters. I used to have friends, but I was so focused on work that I stopped calling them back, stopped making plans. And now, when I look around, I realize I'm all alone. It sort of snuck up on me." "That's sad," Lily said. "Everyone should have someone on their birthday." "You're right," Daniel agreed. "What about you? Where's your dad? Is he helping plan your mom's birthday surprise?" Lily's face fell. "My daddy died when I was 3. I don't remember him much, just a little bit. Just how he used to sing to me before bed. Mama says he loved us very much, but he got sick and couldn't get better." "I'm so sorry, Lily," Daniel said, and his voice was thick with emotion. "That must be very hard." "It is," Lily said. "Mama works 2 jobs now so we can have our apartment and food and stuff. She works at a restaurant during the day and cleans offices at night. She's always tired. But she still reads to me before bed and helps me with my homework. That's why I wanted to get her a really special cake. She deserves something that makes her smile." Daniel had to look away for a moment, and Mrs. Chen, who was listening while she finished boxing the order, had to wipe her eyes with her apron. "Your mama is very lucky to have you," Daniel finally said. "Mr. Daniel?" Lily said. "If you're alone today, do you want to come to Mama's birthday party tomorrow? It won't be fancy. We're just going to have cake and ice cream in our apartment. But you shouldn't be alone on your birthday, even if it was yesterday by then." Daniel looked at this child, who'd known him for 10 minutes and was inviting him into her home, into her family's celebration, simply because she thought no one should be alone. And he felt something crack in his chest, some wall he'd built around himself to protect against the loneliness he'd been pretending wasn't there. "Are you sure your mom would be okay with that?" he asked. "Mama always says we should be kind to people, especially people who are lonely or sad. And you're both, I think. So yes, she'd be okay with it." Mrs. Chen brought over the boxes, the beautiful cake, and a container of cookies. Daniel took out a business card and handed it to Lily. "This has my phone number on it," he said. "Ask your mama to call me if it's really okay for me to come to the party. If I don't hear from her, I'll understand. But Lily, thank you. You've made my birthday better than I expected." Lily carefully put the card in her canvas bag. "Thank you for helping me get Mama's cake. You're a good birthday cake partner. Daniel helped Lily carry the boxes to the address she gave him, which turned out to be a modest apartment building 4 blocks away. He insisted on making sure she got home safely, and when a woman in her late 20s answered the door, clearly surprised to see her daughter with a stranger and expensive bakery boxes, Daniel quickly explained the situation. Sarah, Lily's mother, had the same blue eyes as her daughter, and the tired but kind face of